Hey YouTube, this is Chris. I'm going to do another quick walkthrough of pagination with Lighthouse version 2.0. Someone actually had a pretty good question in regards to like an N+1 issue that you might run into typically with GraphQL queries and what Lighthouse does kind of behind the scenes to resolve that. So if you take a look at this query, actually, I'll add tasks and we'll get the title for each one. Okay, so when you look at this query, you're starting at me, which is the authenticated user. And then you're saying here on this field, hey, give me the first 5 jobs that belong to this user. But then when we get down here, it says, okay, for each job, get me the tasks that are associated with it. And if we had this as a paginator, we're going to run into an issue. So just to show it working, we'll change this type to paginator. And refresh this. And we'll say give me the data and the title. Okay. So the problem out of the box with what Laravel provides with the eager loading is that currently I'm not aware of a way to limit your relationships on a collection. So it looks something like this. So if I create just a dummy route, that's get foo function. Okay, so, and actually let me go ahead and just copy and paste some of this stuff in here. All right, so I'll change this to do just to match the query. So we're saying here, all right, so give me my user. So it's kind of following along with the query is like, so, right. Okay. So we're starting on the root and we're saying, hey, give me the authenticated user. So here we're just kind of faking it. We're just getting the user with the email test@lighthouse.com. And then we're saying, okay, give me the jobs that are associated with this user. And then down here, we're saying, hey, give me the task. Go ahead and eager load the task for each job, but only get the first 2. So if I were to run this in the browser, spell it. There we go. All right, the problem is that we're only going to get the first 2 tasks total. That's it. We only get the first 2. None of these are filled out, even though I believe each one, the seeder gives like each job 3 tasks. All right, so what Lighthouse does is it's got its own query builder, and it provides a helper function on collections. It's called fetch for page, and we're saying, okay, give me the first, and I'll just switch it so it matches the query. Give me the first 2 for page number 1, and I want the tasks relationship. So now, if I refresh, now I'm getting the paginator instance, basically, let's just go down here, and I'm getting the first 2 for each job, rather than the first 2 total. Now, in order to run this, just looking at it, what it looks like it might be doing is saying, okay, for each one of my jobs, right, go ahead and like say job load tasks, and that would take care of the issue. And you can also like say, inside a function, go ahead and just take the first 2. Which I think that would work, but obviously that's an N+1 issue, right? We're saying, okay, for each one of my jobs, which here we're saying we'll give me the first 5, then we're going to hit the database 5 times, which isn't a huge deal. But then when you get down to tasks, and now you got 10 tasks, and you're saying for each task give me some other relationship, and you keep nesting, you're really going to just kind of hammer your database. So if I put a listener in here and delete what was there before, and we're going to switch back to the fetch for page, and I run it again. So now I have my log. All right, so we're running pretty much the minimal amount to get a length-aware paginator. So we have the user, then we have the user's jobs, and for length-aware paginator to work, we need to know what the count is. So it's getting the task count, and here's all the IDs for the jobs for the user. And then what it's doing down here is it's concatenating the query. So it's just sending it once to the database. So we only have 4 total calls rather than, the first 3 plus 5 additional round trips to the database. So yeah, behind the scenes, Lighthouse does take care of the N+1 issue. And additionally, a different question I had that relates to the paginator is, well, what if I need to, kind of filter my has many relationship? It's like, that's great that I can paginate, but, what if I want order, or I have like some sort of filter that I want to put on it. So you can also add a scopes directive, or I'm sorry, a scopes argument. And we'll call this filter. And we'll add a new argument here. So we'll say starts with, and that's going to be a string. That's optional. That's spell string. Okay. So if I go to my job, I can create a new scope called filter, and it's going to get my Laravel query builder, and then I'm going to get all the arguments that have been passed in, and we just created that starts with argument. So I'm going to say starts with equals array get, we get from the args, and we'll get these starts with, sorry about that, starts with, so we're going to return a query when starts with, so when that's not empty, we'll run a nested query, view starts with, okay, and we're going to say where the title of the job is like, starts with, so we're not the most eloquent query, but all right, so here, and actually just so we know which one is which. Where? Okay, so we created a scope, and here we're adding the argument starts with. So if I refresh this, and I now say jobs starts with Lighthouse, I did add a couple jobs, I believe the 3 total that start with Lighthouse. So if I run that, now we're only getting the first 3 jobs. And if I get rid of this, we'll see I'm getting just the first 5 total. Here's the last 2. So yeah, you can, and you can add as many as you want to. Just remember that you're going to get your query builder, that's what Laravel provides you, but it's going to also pass in any arguments. And if you add paginator, you're also going to get your count as one of the arguments if you needed it for whatever reason. So that's it. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.